Hey, welcome back to another video. My name is Kara Michelle and I am here to help you live your truth. And on today's video, I want to talk about anxiety and share some really powerful tools to help you if you are currently struggling with that. First things first, I want to preface this by saying that anxiety affects everyone differently, and I think something that's really important to realize is that what might bring about anxiety for you isn't necessarily going to bring it about for someone else. And a lot of times we feel very misunderstood because of this, because what feels so real and so intense for us is something that other people do normally, and then it creates this kind of disconnect and this isolation. So I want you to know that is normal, I guess, in the sense as far as anxiety goes, and that isn't anything to worry about. But anxiety is something that you can fix, you can improve, and you can make major strides on. And I know growing up I was someone who was super anxious all the time. I had a lot of fear about new things, about getting out of my comfort zone. I'd make myself sick with worry and with fear around things, and it was just a really negative place to be in. Now, a lot of times when I was doing that, it was because whatever situation was going on, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. So one thing I talk about a lot on this channel and as a coach and with training for mindfulness and meditation and all of this different reprogramming work is the power of awareness and realizing where a lot of these things stem from and what might be triggering them. So realizing where your anxiety comes from and what's causing it, whether it's certain things externally or a certain feeling that keeps happening for you. For me, it always came back to the pressure that I perceived from other people and also the pressure I was putting on my own shoulders. So pressure was the biggie for me. And anytime I felt like there was the weight of the world on my shoulders, it created this immense amount of anxiety, right? Naturally. So because I now looking back can see the pattern and see the reason why I always had it, it makes so much more sense. And I can see how I was also creating more of that by constantly focusing on that and solidifying this need to be perfect and to meet everyone's expectations and creating even more of that pressure. Now, there are so many amazing ways to work on your anxiety and to tackle it. And if you want some help with that, you're going to see a link down below for one of my ebooks. It's all about tackling anxiety. I'm helping you go from anxiety to serenity in 7 powerful steps, and it will totally transform your mind and your life if you use these tools. So if you struggle with anxiety, this is going to help you so much. And all of these are different tools I've used in my own life that helped me overcome my anxiety and get to where I am now, which I am in Bali. It's hard to tell, I guess, just like hiding out in the shade, but I travel the world, you know, I have multiple businesses, I am just living a fulfilled life right now, and anxiety is something of the past. I think maybe once or twice a month I have little bits of anxiety that creep in, or those self-doubt feelings that come with it sometimes. But because of the tools I share in this ebook, I'm able to combat it and stop it right away before it gets really strong. So you definitely want to check out the ebook. But adding to what I said before as well is realizing that since everyone responds differently to anxiety, that should lift a little bit of the weight off of you, because you don't need to feel like you are the weird one or the strange one or the crazy one for having anxiety about something. Just because someone else can do that without anxiety doesn't mean that they don't have their own stresses and things that create pressure and anxiety for them, right? So really realizing and releasing that need to be perfect, that expectation that you are going to be amazing 100% of the time in every area of your life, and learning to embrace and accept and love who you are right now and create the mindset that's going to shift and work with you on that journey so that you can just start doing these things you've always wanted to do, and you know how to handle anxiety when it shows up, exactly what steps to take, how to reframe your mindset and like reframe the process that you usually have going on. and start to do these things anxiety free. And I remember when for me, a lot of times I put so much pressure in sports, and that was one of the biggest things where my anxiety showed up. No one ever really noticed because I always seemed very calm and chill, but internally I was like horribly anxious. It was the worst thing I can think of. And yet I could go travel the world by myself with a one-way ticket and not really any clear plans of what I was going to do or where I'd go next or where I was even going to stay. And other people would look at me and be like, doesn't that make you anxious? Doesn't that make you scared or nervous or worried? And I was just like, no, I mean, I'm good with that. So it's interesting, the more you understand your own anxiety and where it stems from, and the more vulnerable and open you can be to other people and express that. You know, like when I started sharing this, other people were shocked that I had anxiety in sports because I kept it so well hidden. And again, they were surprised I didn't have anxiety about travel or about different things that I was doing in my life. And so by sharing it and opening the conversation, it allowed people to understand me better, and it allowed me to understand myself better and understand exactly where this anxiety was showing up. So I would highly recommend you do some of that inner work. If you want a change in your life, it's up to you to make it, and you can't just sit back staying in your anxiety waiting for a magical cure. Do the work, create the shifts, create the awareness, and check out the anxiety ebook link down below, because that will help you so much in this journey. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.